Hi, Dr. Messenger here. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to talk about the need for independence. Many of our children are dependent on their parents for too long. Significant dependence is appropriate in childhood and the early teens, but after this there should be an appropriate passing of the baton of responsibility. In many cases these days, there's a gap in development. The gaining of adult privileges, such as being able to drink, stay up late, drive a car, and have intimate relationships, needs to be accompanied by the life skills and responsibility to live independently. Giving the adult privileges without the concomitant skills is a recipe for disaster. It creates people who want to drive a car but not look after it. It creates people who want sexual relationships without developing emotional maturity, respect for others, or dealing with surprise pregnancies. It creates people who want to spend freely but not balance their accounts. It creates people who think their own hedonism is more important than feeding, clothing, and housing people who are hungry or homeless, and living sustainably with respect for each other, plants and animals of the planet. An unchecked dependence on others can block people from developing their opinions about healthcare, social responsibility, religion, politics, ethics, and crime management. It's normal for children to take on the values and attitudes of their parents. However, at some point, everyone needs to modify their perspective and form their own opinions. Everyone is born with their blend of gifts, abilities, and flaws. Everyone needs to contribute to society in some way. Not contributing and staying a spectator leads to unfulfilment, lack of personal growth, and depression. We need to find our calling, our purpose, and our values. We need to encourage our young ones to do so as well. There needs to be a bridge for all of us that takes us from preoccupation with ourselves, egocentricity, narcissism, overinflated self-importance, and self-entitlement, to being emotionally engaged in doing good and building the world with equality, inclusion, and justice. Even if your kids don't want to be nice or perpetuate justice, make it a requirement. We all have to do things we don't necessarily want to do. Not wanting to do something is understandable. You still have to do them. We have to pay taxes, drive on the correct side of the road, and finish projects on time, or else there are consequences. And you'll be a whole lot happier about it if you do it because you simply know it's the right thing to do. Everyone needs someone to talk to. If you are not the someone to the people you are leading, then you are not the leader. If you're not prepared to do the influencing, they will get it from someone else. It's imperative to communicate effectively. People like stories. People need stories. Stories teach us ethics, values, the consequences of choices, and cultural inheritance. Stories allow us to learn from the experience of others so we don't have to repeat other people's mistakes. Don't leave the storytelling to television and cinema, because they might choose horror and get rich and famous at all cost themes rather than appropriate stories. Leadership doesn't stand still. Sometimes you need to lead others, and sometimes others need to be the leaders. This is normal. It's normal to be a leader, and it's normal to be a follower. Wisdom comes from knowing when to be which. And it's useful to be both independent and to contribute. Remember, until we meet again, laugh lots and you get more of what you think about.